Hello again. I thought it was time for another coffee and a chat. This one, you'll note, is called Was It Worth It? The question being, was it worth it throwing a load of money at a cheap slot car to make it run like a better, more expensive slot car? It's not a simple yes/no answer, obviously. So we should probably start with the nitty-gritty side of it. The cost. Well, the car was £22.50 straight off. The motor that I put in it from Pioneer was £8.50. The slotted pinion, £1.58. Well, there was two in a bag, so I've halved the price of the bag. The crown gear was very expensive, really, for a crown gear. £7.36. Two sets of wheels from Staffs. Now these, due to the wonderful way that VAT is calculated, 2 packets of 2 is an odd number, £19.89. I put 2 rear tyres on here, so that's £2.05. Did the guide, which a Slotting Plus guide, £1.67, and the guide adapters, £1 each, and I used 2 of them. I put the bearings in out of another car, but if I was to buy them, they'd have been £2.15. Now this takes the total of the extra bits up to £45.20, which means the car itself is a total of £67.70. So that's quite an expensive slot car, but it does go pretty well. An equivalent car, really, in terms of the price of it, would be something like a Sideways. This Mark II Escort or any of the other ones they do, they're all about £67, £68 at the moment at retailers. And obviously this is a very different beast to this. But actually, and I know I need to tune this car up a bit more, it's not that much slower than this. And in some ways it's probably more fun because it's a bit of a lumbery beast and you can just chuck it about. This is a very nice car, but it's quite delicate, and I don't want to throw this at the scenery having too much fun and not concentrating, because it'll probably turn into lots of small bits. It's beautiful, it's fast, but it's fragile. This is not so beautiful, it's not quite so fast, but you could drop kick it down the garden and still put it back on the track and it would probably run, and nothing would have broken off it. So, was it worth it? From a purely looking at the end result, how fast does this car go, what can you do with it, and so on. No, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it at all. Because you can get one of these which has got lots more adjustment and all sorts of funky bits and make it run more beautifully and so on. And okay, you might add some more money to this by buying some more parts, but aside from that, in standard form, costing about the same amount as this is probably a better option. But that's not really it, is it? Because not everybody in the slot car hobby just wants to buy a car and put it on the track and run it round. That's nice enough, and there's stuff that you can do. Even this car, you could just buy it, leave the magnet in, put it on the track and run it round. But for £45.20, I managed to occupy some of my time enjoying myself by modifying things, replacing things, upgrading things, going through the process of changing something on a car, running it again to see if it's faster and how much it's improved. And that's a process. And there's a value in that process. And on top of that, I've got to make some videos about it. And I like making videos. And I've got to show you guys and hopefully entertain you guys a bit, and maybe some of you guys will do some of these things, or you'll pick a different car and just have a bit of a go, change some bits up. Hopefully somebody somewhere in the world is tearing one of these apart and trying to make it faster. Just using some of the basic things I suggested. That would be lovely. If that happened, if one person said, I've done that, that makes the whole point of that £42.50 is an irrelevant amount of money at that point. So, was it worth it? Hell yeah. Good chat.